So we're going to start off with a couple of conversions. So the key thing to remember is that if we're trying to go from millimeters to centimeters or the other way around. Now, because there is 10 millimeters in 1 centimeter, if you want to get from millimeters to centimeters, you divide by 10. And if you want to go back the other way, centimeters to millimeters, you're going to times by 10. Okay, it's similar with centimeters and meters. Because there is 100 centimeters in a meter, if you want to get centimeters to meters, you divide by 100, and if you want to get meters into centimeters, you times by 100. Question 2 is the same principle, but this time we're looking at some mass rather than length. And because there is 1,000 grams in a kilogram, we can divide any gram amount by 1,000 to get it in kilograms. And any kilogram amount can be timesed by 1,000 to convert it back to grams. With tons and kilograms, so a ton is really, really heavy, talking buses and elephants. So there are actually 1,000 kilograms in a ton. Most people weigh between 50 and 100 kilograms. So 1,000 kilograms is very, very heavy. So to get kilograms to tons, there's 1,000 of them, so you divide by 1,000. And the other way around, you would times by 1,000. For question 3, the plumber's pipe is been given to us in meters, but the lengths of pipe he needs have been given to us in centimeters. So all you need to do, because they want the answer in centimeters, is first of all convert how much pipe he's got, so the 2.5 meters, convert that into centimeters and write it down, and then you can subtract off all of the bits he uses to see what he's got left at the end. So those are the 3 questions on converting metric units. Then we've got a few questions coming up now on something called a two-way table. It's called a two-way table because it has 2 things. It has one thing going across in rows and another thing going down in columns. So in this case, we've got gender going across in the rows. So we've got boys, girls, and then the total. And going across in the columns, we've got what food they've got. So all you need to do is fill this in, okay? So you need to look along. For this box here, you need to count how many people want pasta who are a boy, okay? And you write it down here. For this box, it would be how many people want salad who are a boy, and so on, okay? So this one will be how many want pasta who are a girl. And then this totals bit here, we just work that out by adding up this one and this one. So add those together to see what the total having pasta is. And the same for this total box. You just need to add together this one, this one, and this one to see what the total number of girls is. So on question 5, we've been asked to work out the total who chose English as their favourite. So we need to find the box that has total, the box that has English, and where these two meet. So we can see English and total meets here. So this is the box that we want to work out, this one here. In order to do this, you've got to look and try and work out some other bits of information first, okay? Because you can only work out a missing box if you've got all the other information needed for its row or column. So, for example, if we could work out this one here, which I'll do in blue, then we know that 25 plus this science one plus the English one would have to equal 70. And we can work out that science total because it's these two added together. Okay, so you can fill that one in. And once you know that, you can subtract the 19 and the 25 off that total of 70, and whatever your answer is must be the total for English. For question 6, they filled in our table for us already. It's just the total columns and total rows which haven't been filled in. So for part A, you've got to complete the table. So all you've got to do is add along each row and write it down for your total. So do that for every row and do the same for every column. B, in which year did he sell the most computers? So in which year? So you just have to look at your totals, which you get over here, and see which year has got the highest total. Is it 2015's row, 2016's row, or 2017's row? And then see in which quarter did he sell the least computers. So that means you've got to look at the quarter totals, find the lowest one, and see which quarter it is, quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, or quarter 4. Question 7, if Tina has got 48 rabbits, 32 are male, so you start filling it in. So 32 are male, they've not told us black or white, so it must be 32 total male, so I can fill that in. 9 of the female black rabbits are black, so female and black. That means you need to write it in here. Okay, and then 14 of the white rabbits are males, so you need to go to white and male, and they meet here, so you need to write that one in here. And then you've got some information written in now to start working out the rest of the table. Remember, you can only work out a row or a column if you only have one piece of information missing. So if I do fill it in, I ended up with the 14 here, and it was 9 here. So if I rub out the arrows just to make it a bit neater, if I can. And so if I was trying to work out, get my pen back. So for example, I can't work out this one or this one because I've got 2 missing bits of information, so that's no good to me. So I need to find a row or a column with only one missing bit. So this column here has only got one bit missing. So I'd start off by working that one out. Once you've filled that one in, you'll be able to work out this row's total, because you'll only be missing one bit here. And you continue on like that, okay? Always looking for where you're only missing one bit of information, and you can start filling it all in. You're asked about one of Tina's rabbits being chosen at random, the probability it is a white female. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to take whatever answer you get here and write it as a fraction out of her total rabbits, which is the one you're going to get there. Okay, so because probability's got to be fractions, decimals or percentages. So you're going to go for white female and write it out of the total. On question 8, we've been told information about sandwiches sold by a cafe. Now, half of the tuna sandwiches were on white bread. So we know the total of the tuna sandwiches. So if half of them were white, it means half were brown. So you just need to half that number, and then you can fill in this one and this one. We're told 25% of the ham sandwiches were sold on brown bread. So we'll go to the ham total. So here's ham. So you need to work out a quarter of that. So half it again. And a quarter of them were brown. So write that in here. And then you can work out how many must have been white and fill it in down there. And then it says there were 20 more white bread sandwiches sold than brown bread. So the total's got to be 100. And you've got to have 20 more white than brown. Okay, so think about what number must go here and what number must go here. That's got a difference of 20 and adds up to 100. Now we've got some multiplying and dividing negative numbers. The basic rule is if both numbers are positive, your answer is positive. If both numbers are negative, then your answer is positive. But if only one's negative and one's positive, it can be in either order, then your answer will be negative. Okay, so basically, if they're the same and you're timesing or dividing them, you're going to get a positive answer. But if they're different and you're timesing or dividing them, you're going to get a negative answer. So all you do is do 7 times 4 and write your answer down. And then have a look. Because only one of them is negative, your answer is going to be negative, so you put a negative in front of it. So for each one, just times the numbers together as if they were normal numbers, and then have a look. If they're both negative, it's going to be a positive answer. If only one of them is negative, it's going to be a negative answer. And it works exactly the same for division. So you just do 12 divided by 3 and write it down. And then you'd have a look. Only one of them is negative. And if only one of them is negative, then your answer must be negative. And you just do it like that. And then the final question is just a little bit on some area. You want the area of this triangle. Now the area of a triangle is base times your perpendicular height halved or divided by 2. Now this measurement of 14 here, that is not the height. That is the length of this side of the shape, which would be useful if we were looking at perimeter or something, but we're not, we're looking at area. So for area, we don't need that. We want the base and the perpendicular height. Now perpendicular is just a fancy word we say for right angle. And we can see we've got a right angle here. So it means the height going straight up, like the way we stand, like the way buildings stand. We don't have wonky slanty bits. So you're going to have to do your 18 times 11 and half it. Question 14, we've got a hexagon made up from a rectangle and two identical triangles. The area of the hexagon. So you're going to split this down and you're going to start off by working out the rectangle area. Okay, so the rectangle area goes across by 12 and up by 5. And then we're going to work out our triangle area. We need 2 of them because we've got 2 identical triangles. Now the triangle, if this whole length down here is 13 and the rectangle takes up 5 of it in the middle, then either side of it, 13 take away 5 is 8, so either side of it must be 4. Okay, so 4 for that top bit, 4 for that bottom bit. So you've got 2 triangles, so the rectangle was a 12 by 5 rectangle, and each triangle is 12 across by 4 perpendicular height. Because it's a triangle, we'd half it, but then we're going to be doubling it anyway. Okay, because we need 2 of them, because there's 2 triangles. And then all we'd need to do is add them. And both of these answers are going to be in centimetres squares.